Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is Diogenes Lamp, and basically, I just wanted to give a quick rundown on the Toyota T100 brakes and CV joint job. I have one of the left side of the brakes and rotor and all on, and I got to do the other side yet, but I do have the CV joints on both sides. So, what I want to share while it's fresh in my mind is first with the CV joints. Let's have a quick chat on that. The outer CV joint uses regular CV joint grease. The inner one uses like a brown polyurea grease, because it has a tripod joint, which are small rollers, and you'll see it. It looks like a tripod. It looks like three, and it rolls. They say that you're not supposed to use the other type of grease in there because it's got chunks in it of whatever that stuff is, the graphite chunks, and it jams the bearings. Okay, so I was a dummy, and I put it together without knowing that on the other side. Okay, I was also cheap, and believe me, I didn't save much money. I don't know why I did it. I just probably wanted to be, a rebel, and I bought some boots from the big website that I'm not going to say the name of it, but they used to trade beers for them. They used to sell you a blank, and then you would get a beer for free, if you remember what that is. Anyway, so I bought it from there, and what would happen is the inner one was fine. The outer one would leak on the outer boot. It would leak. Okay, so I thought I was a dummy and I didn't put it on tight enough. So guess what? I went online and I bought the other type that don't pull and lock, but crimp with a crimper. And those are unbelievably good. I put it on again, and the damn thing would keep leaking. It kept leaking on the outer part, like right in this area. So I said to myself, you know what? Not only that, I was a dummy and I put the wrong grease on the inside. I said, I got to fix this. So I bought the right stuff. I bought the genuine ones. I took off the right side, did it. Took off the left side, did it, because the left side was ripped too. It was ripped in here, and it was leaking as well, but not quite as bad. Now, one thing you want to remember real quick is you can't get these bearings in here anymore. So if this thing rips, you fix it right away, because they don't sell if you were to buy genuine ones, you can't get the CV joint on the outside any longer. It's not available. There's a few other things that are not available, like the tone ring for the ABS is not available, but there's a few of them online you could probably pick up in an aftermarket. I think Dorman makes them, but I don't know how good they are, because with aftermarket stuff, you never know. I used kerosene to clean the grease, because I got the wrong grease in. With polyurea grease, you can't mix anything else with it. Polyurea grease lasts longer than 6 times longer than the regular wheel bearing grease that you use. The can't think of the name of it, lithium grease, right? And that's basically the story on that. Coming out to the so that's the first recommendation. The second recommendation, okay, so here's the story. What I do, I use power slot, or power stop, not power slot, power stop brake rotors. I had very good luck with a set of these, and I use EBC yellow stuff pads. Now, one problem with the EBC pad is you have to grind the edge off on the inner one more so than the outer one, really the inner one, because it goes beyond the rotor, and when the piece of the pad gets on the outside as it wears down, it makes it feel like you have warped rotors, which it's really not. It's this end moving up and down this way, giving the car, it'll make the car jerk like it's got a warped rotor. So I had to sand those down. I fitted those in. I can't show you that right now because it's all together. But a couple things I want to go over with you. Importantly, over here, this is the innermost seal. You want to change this because that's what it looks like when you take it out. That keeps the seal for the ABS sensor and all that. Also, it stops crap from getting into the into that area. Here's the new seals, the internal seals that go on the inside. That's the part number on that. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, there's part number on this. Now these are left and right, so you got to get. I think the other one's 02 or 03. for left and right on these. So the dummy sent me 2 of the same, so I had to go back to them. These seals are for the outermost, you know, for the bolts that go on the outside. I'll show you that. I'll point that out. And this is like one of the best things you could use that holds the brake line when you take the brake line off, because you actually have to remove the caliper and open the brake system to get the caliper off this truck, which is a crappy design. One of the best tools you could use is chopsticks. Always take chopsticks, good for sticking grease where your finger can't get, and also putting paint wherever you can't get to, or anti-seize. Works great. I also use the blue gasket sealer on here, and also under this cup. If you use it under the cup, just put it sparingly, and it keeps dirt from getting into your outer wheel bearing. Makes a big difference. Also, another problem with these pads I mentioned was you got to drill these holes out, grind these holes out. So you got to test fit these things, which is a real pain in the ass, honestly. But I got to tell you something. I'm going to admit this. I say a goober pulled out in front of me with this brake combination. Obviously, you know, when it was brand new or relatively new. Basically, I'm going 40 miles an hour down the street. A goober pulls out, and this little teeny micro car, it wasn't the smallest one, it was, you know, just a goober little car, pulls out right in front of me, 40 miles an hour. I stood on the brakes. A goober is alive because of this combination. The damn truck, it almost lifted the back wheels off the ground. This is a great combination. You know, the power stop brake rotors, not power slot, because they also make power slot. I go with the power stop. You can get those pretty reasonable, and the EBC yellow stuff pads. I really like them a lot. I've gone through 3 sets of them. They do make dust, but they're definitely good. You also want to put anti-seize on these cones when they come out, because you'll never get them out. They'll be very difficult. And anyway, that's about it. So that's it for today. If questions, comments, I hope everybody stays safe with what's going on now. This is keeping my mind off of it pretty much. Hope everybody has a happy Easter, and take care.